بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد.
So we were talking about fiqh salah and certain things which are important, of course, which can make our salah invalid. And the last one, I think the last one we mentioned was to lean on something without an excuse. If you are standing in the masjid and there is a pillar next to you, to lean on that pillar will make your salah invalid. And the scholars say, if you lean on anything, and if that thing was to be removed, this makes you fall, then your salah is invalid. In terms of leaning on the chair, you're probably talking about the back of the chair. If it's not necessary, you should not. If you can sit straight, like because you are in salah, so you should not be leaning on the chair. If you have to, you have back problem, back pain or whatever, then you
are excused.
You can, but without excuse, you should not lean on the chair. Even you should be sitting up, because again, you are sitting just because you cannot stand. So you should not just be comfortable. Next time, bring a mattress and just lay down. How about that, yani?
But if I was younger, but I was still baligh, I was like 14, 15 years old. During my Tarawih prayer, I used to station next to a pillar or like the column, and I would lean on that. That's not good.
No, that's why we're planning to remove them all, so nobody can do that in the future.
They cannot.
No, of course you cannot. No, you cannot. Then you will be in Jannah.
But Rasulullah told that instead of praying a lot,
that was nafl, not farad. She was praying nafl, not farad. Yeah, so he told her, don't get to the point when you get tired like that.
But the hadith is correct.
Yeah. The hadith is
she was leaning on something, right?
She was leaning because she prayed so much qiyam and tahajjud, she cannot stand up anymore.
Okay.
That's what happened. So he told her, don't overdo it.
Okay.
That's the thing. Yeah. With the nafl, don't overdo it. Don't push yourself to a point where even there is another hadith that says you get so sleepy you don't know what you're saying anymore. You can even might curse at yourself in the salah. It happens. So if you are in this, then go get some rest. Basically, do not pray when you are that tired. But I don't think we have this problem today. We have the problem of not praying at all. We have the other problem. Okay. Next, so we were talking again about the things that can invalidate our prayer. So this is important. To do something extra in the prayer. And that can be sometimes, like for example, some people add stuff, which is not part of the prayer.
Some people
add. They think adding is always good. No, you can't add stuff. Like for example, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Some people say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu wa rahmatuhu, and they like 15 minutes giving salam to the angels. I think the angels have already left by the time he's finished. The angels are already at home. Yani, by the time he's done that. So some people add things to the salah and they think in Islam adding things is always good. No, we don't add and we don't decrease. We don't increase or decrease. We follow the sunnah. We follow the command of Allah and His Messenger. So adding is not always good. Yani you can't say, well, today I feel energetic, I'm going to pray Isha 6 rak'at. Your Isha is not valid this way. Allah will not accept any of these 6 rak'at. So we can't add anything in the prayer which is not a part of the prayer. One sect, I think the Ghaus al-Azam people, they are Sufis, After salah or during salah, they say salah ala nabi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad, not at the end, in the middle of salah. And sometimes after salah, as a part of the salah. Now that invalidates your salah. You can't do that. Adding anything to the prayer, which is not approved by Allah and His Messenger, make your salah invalid. Anything.
After salam and we pray.
Making dua, you mean? After salah, it's not sunnah to make dua. After fard. After fard prayer, it's not sunnah to make dua. The sunnah is to make zikr. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, Ayat al-Kursi, and those things. After sunnah, you can. After sunnah, you can make dua. After fard is not recommended.
Only after sunnah?
Yeah, after fard, you just do the sunan, do the tasbih, dhikr. Dua is not recommended. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not make dua after fard. But after sunnah, and I have talked about it in the masjid many times, because after we finish fard and people start doing this and they make dua. And I said, this is not the sunnah. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not do it. And then one brother, I don't know how to answer these questions. And he asked me, what will happen if I did that? Nothing will happen. Nobody cares about what you do anyway, but this is not sunnah. That's what I'm trying to say. If it's not sunnah, it cannot be good.
Well, he meant, well, it's going to be accepted or not.
What happens? Nothing happens. Nothing is going to happen. What do you think is going to happen? Well, it's going to rain. Well, it's going to start a thunderstorm because we did this. So nobody cares. Will Allah answer your dua? This is up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it's not sunnah. I'm not saying Allah will not answer your dua. I'm saying Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not do it. Then it cannot be good. This is my main, this is the main, the principle I follow all the time. If the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not do it, if his companions did not do it, then it cannot be good.
But you have to do it before tasleem, right?
You can, yes. Before salamu alaikum, after tashahhud, before ending salah, this is actually a very good time to make dua.
Isn't there a hadith that says that one of the best times to make dua is right after salah? And then, so if it's not recommended to make dua after fard, then when is a good time to make dua? Because if you don't have time or if you're not used to praying sunnah, then what do you do?
So first of all, there is no hadith that says the best time to pray is after salah, no make dua. There is no hadith.
Okay, so maybe it's a mistake.
That's not a hadith. But if you don't pray sunnah, then you should pray sunnah starting today. If you don't pray sunnah, if you want to make dua, simply change your spot. So let's say you prayed dhuhr now, and you're not planning to pray sunnah. So you get up just as long as it's not connected to the salah. As long as you are still in your position and you are still in the same place, you prayed whatever prayer it is, fard, and you're still sitting there, then whatever you do now is connected to your salah. Whenever you get up, you can get up and move two steps away from there and sit down and make dua. That is fine. As long as you don't make it connected to your prayer. That is when it's not recommended.
Right after tashahhud is a good time to make dua, but can you make long dua at that time?
As long as you want.
Yeah.
And then finally say salam.
Yeah, but in fard it has to be in Arabic.
The dua has to be in Arabic.
Yes, everything.
Can it be Quranic dua? Can it be Quranic dua?
Yes,
or something?
Yes, can it be any dua you want? There is no limitation to that.
Okay,
but in sunnah you can use another language, right?
In sunnah you can speak Punjabi, and the angels will probably take you to Pakistan.
They will have a translator. Okay.
They'll have a translator. What did he just say? He said, "Apka sahi." Yeah. No. Yeah.
Quick question. What is meant in the following hadith? What is meant by the end of salat? The hadith is, when the prayer is over, then the salah is over. Then the prayer is over. Then the salah 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 is Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked, O Messenger of Allah, which supplication is heard by Allah? He said, the end of the night and at the end of the obligatory salah. So what is
that before Assalamu alaikum, with the one we're just talking about, after tashahhud al-akhir, after at-tahiyatu lillahi, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, before ending your salah, that is the best time to make dua. Not after Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Yeah. He would have said after your salah, not at the end of your salah. If he meant after, he would have said after. Saying the end of your salah, meaning before you end your salah, the last thing you do, you can make dua. As we said, this is very recommended, very good. Yeah. And there are some sunnah hadith dua like Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min adhabi jahannam wa adhab al-qabr wa fitnati al-masih al-dajjal. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-kufr wa min al-faqr wa min adhab al-qabr. Allahumma inni rabbi ij'alni muqima as-salati wa min dhurriyyati. There are so many hadith and dua that are recommended, but you can make any dua as long as it's in Arabic. Yes, more Brother Abdul Wahab. What do you mean? You're traveling, you mean? What do you mean you forgot the rak'ah?
Exactly.
If you forgot, you do more. You always add. Better than subtract, you add, and then you do sujood sahw.
Okay, so if I'm praying for probably I pray without
do one more, and then do sujood sahw. How are you going to do qabla salah? You can't do that before prayer. You know ahead of time I'm going to forget. Let me do one more, because I know I'm going to forget. So let's just do one more in case. Okay. So, any more questions, or we can continue now?
Continue.
Okay. The things that can make your salah invalid, again, and this is very important because people make a mistake, especially when in the congregation. Doing salam before the imam. Some people are in a hurry. They say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. The imam did not finish his salah. You finish your salah before him. Your salah is invalid. You cannot call salam before the imam. You have to wait. So I know if you are in a hurry, but be patient. Okay.
Brother Yad, I had a question.
Yes.
So when the imam said Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and then he goes to the other side and do Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, do you start to say salam to your right side after he completes saying it the second time, or do you
Either way.
Either way?
Either
Okay.
way. Either way. Yeah. It's better to wait because some consider it to be one thing. Both salams is one rukn. So you wait for him to finish and then you do right and left. But if you are in a hurry and your wife already heated up the food for you and you have to go before it gets cold, then you do it. Yeah, but not before the imam finish, because again your salah will be invalid. The next one, again, not reading Surah Al-Fatiha. Not reading Surah Al-Fatiha in your salah makes it invalid. You have to read Surah Al-Fatiha in your salah or your salah is invalid. It's a condition. Yes.
If you follow Islam, and you make everyone to pray from the Quran, and after Islam, you continue, and you fall into nation, some part and you have to go to this time. Can you do that? Or?
I'm confused. What happened? How are you following the imam and you have to do sujood sahw?
You don't already finish Salam, but you need one or two.
You don't know how many you missed?
No, you know, this point that you made,
You came late to the salam.
You do one more rak'ah and you do sujood sahw. The same thing. Okay.
You have to explain to them also when they come to the mosque and the salah is already there. We are.
I did talk about it before. Again, this when if you miss a rak'ah or two, the first rak'ah you join with the imam is your first rak'ah. This is
Right.
number one, and then you don't count. I missed the first two or something. Your first rak'ah is your first rak'ah. Yeah.
You continue with them, and then, but you don't say Assalamu alaikum. You do the ones you missed.
No, you don't do the ones you missed. You continue.
You continue. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you
And then
don't
you
make
say
up what
Assalamu
you
alaikum.
missed. The first rak'ah you join the imam is your own first rak'ah.
About
Yeah.
about Al-Fatiha, when we do Jama'at and the Imam already start Al-Fatiha, already finished Al-Fatiha, and he is reading Surah now, but we start Salat. Is it valid or not? I mean, that first raka'at is valid or not?
As long as you join before the ruku', of course, your rak'ah is valid. Even if he finish the Fatiha and finishes the next surah and he's in ruku' and you join the salah, your salah is valid. But of course, this is an exception. You missed the Fatiha, but your salah is still valid because this is an exception. And that's why, and this is important too, if somebody does it on purpose, then his salah
Yeah.
is invalid. Like some people, they wait for the imam to go to ruku' and then they join the prayer. They say, I got the rak'ah. No, your salah is invalid if you do it on purpose.
But Yad, if you miss a rakah and then let's say you were behind an imam and you missed a rakah and you forgot to stand up, and you immediately remember right after, and you already say Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Do you stand back up and then you just do one
Yeah,
rakah?
you do one more
altogether?
rak'ah. Do one more rak'ah.
You don't have
inshallah.
to redo the whole prayer,
No,
right?
no. As long as it's right after. We're not talking you went home and you ate 5 plates of biryani and 6 kebabs and 15 plates of aloe kosht and then you remembered. No, we're talking you remembered right away. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back. Changing your intention during prayer. What does that mean? So you're praying Maghrib, and then you remembered, I did not pray Asr in the middle of Maghrib. You say, you know what, I'm going to change my intention from Maghrib to Asr. This is not convertible. You can't do that. Continue your Maghrib and then do Asr, but you can't change your intention in the middle of Salah. You can't do that. So your intention, which you started your Salah with, should continue until the end of your Salah. You cannot change it halfway. Okay. Another question.
So in terms of intention, so what if you were praying, you came to the masjid, you saw 2 brothers praying, but you didn't know they were praying Dhuhr, and you thought they were praying Asr, and then after they said, oh yeah, we're praying Dhuhr. Do you have to repeat your Salah?
Well, first of all, you should know according to the time. I mean,
No,
if you enter the masjid during Dhuhr time, it has to be
It's
Dhuhr.
around 5:30 and they missed Dhuhr. They already prayed in the masjid and they're just praying to the side and you just join them.
And your intention is what? Dhuhr or Asr?
Asr? Asr.
Yeah, your Salah is okay.
Okay.
You're okay. Yeah, inshallah, that's fine. Yeah, he joined them and they were praying Dhuhr. He thought they were praying Asr and he joined them with the intention of Asr. That is allowed, actually. Yeah, it happens. I mean, a lot of things happen. Like, again, it happened in our masjid not too long ago when 2 brothers, they were traveling and they were shortening the Salah. So one local brother came and he said, I want to join you. They were praying together and he missed the congregation. They told him, you can't join us, we are traveling. So he went and he prayed by himself. That is a mistake. He can actually join them. They pray Isha 2 rak'ah. He will pray 2 and then he will complete 2 by himself. And he will get the thawab of congregation. So this is the thing. When people don't know, they can make mistakes like those. All right. Now we're going to move on to the next thing. Things that are not recommended to be done in Salah. Now, when I say not recommended, it means if you do these things, it does not make your Salah invalid, but you get less good deeds. And I think we need the good deeds. I mean, is there anyone here who has enough good deeds to enter Jannah and they don't need it anymore?
No.
So I think, especially these small things, they are hated, yukrahu fi salah, disliked. It's not recommended for you to do these things. So I strongly recommend it to avoid it if you can, because we want to get out of our salah the maximum reward possible. Why make it less? Number one, to read Surah Al-Fatiha only without another surah in the first 2 rak'ahs, because we said this is sunnah. It's sunnah to read another surah. But if, let's say, somebody, a new convert, he only knows Surah Al-Fatiha, he still did not learn any other surah, then that is okay. But somebody, you already know another surah, you can read Surah Al-Fatiha alone, because Surah Al-Fatiha is rukn. This is a must. Another surah after Al-Fatiha is sunnah. Missing it is not recommended, so it's better to do it. Reading Surah Al-Fatiha more than one time. So sometimes what happens is I read Surah Al-Fatiha, or did I not read Surah Al-Fatiha? So you read it again and you read it again and you become paranoid. This is from shaitan. Read it one time and inshallah Allah will accept it. Number 3, to look around during prayer. You want to make sure who is in there and who is not there and who came late and who came early. Who appointed you to be taking the attendance? Mind your own business. Sometimes, and this is funny, I'll finish the salah, fard, and then I'm sitting on the chair and I look at people who are still praying. I am not praying. I'm done. I can do whatever I want. And I look at him and he looks back at me. You can't do that. I can look at you. I am done. You cannot look back at me. What is going on? Why are you looking at me? Why is he looking at me?
Maybe he wants to make sure you see him doing the prayer in such a khushu mode.
So much khushu', I guess looking at my face will bring the khushu', all of it.
Also, I think it's important to go to Salah early or on time, not to be late.
Of course, when we talk about looking around in your Salah, if it's important, it's allowed, by the way. So let's say you're praying, we said, and then you looked to the left or right, and you saw your toddler, small child is about to do something dangerous. Then looking and seeing what he's doing is fine. We're just talking about people who look right and left for no reason. The next one is, again, closing your eyes in Salah is not recommended, because when the Majus, the fire worshippers, pray, they close their eyes, because the fire will burn their eyes otherwise. So it's not recommended to close your eyes unless it makes you more focused.